And the third use of the law is the one that gets the most argument. I mean, that people argue over the most, because it can be, it can be confused with other uses of the law. And if you do it wrong, if you explain it wrong, if you put it into practice wrong, it can be like, okay, now you've been forgiven. That was good. But now, okay, forgiveness is in the past. Now you got to toe the line if you want to be saved. Law, then gospel, then law, so that the law is the last word. And that is not what the third use of the law is for. And a good way to distinguish what the third use of the law actually is and what is intrusive law after the gospel is there condemnation? Is the law acting as the law? Because I said earlier, a law can be considered in terms of its content or in terms of its form. So, like, for instance, you could study a law from a country that's not yours. You could study a law from a civilization in the past, and you can learn things from that law code, even though that law code has no bearing over you. Like, the police are never going to hold you to anything in that law code, except where there's overlap with your own law code. You can treat it just as content, and maybe good content. Well, the law of God is all good content. And when we treat it as a resource to know what is the will of God, so that we can walk in it gratefully as already having been saved by the gospel, that's the third use of the law. When we take it as I have been doing that, therefore God is happy with me, therefore I can have some confidence in my salvation because I've been living in that way, that's not the third use of the law, because that's assuming that's using the law again as something that can determine your fate. That God will look at and say, well, according to what you've been doing and according to this statute, I either reward you or I punish you. If that's how you're looking at the law, that's not the third use. That's the second use. And if you think you can get reward on that basis, if you think anybody but Jesus can get reward on that basis, then you're just delusional.